Hello and welcome everyone. I hope you can all hear me. My name is Sarah Fletcher from Quiet Mind Meditation, and I've been coming on to live on Instagram. This is a new thing for me, 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. excuse me, each day this week. I'm a meditation teacher based in today, sunny Melbourne, Australia, and I was trying to think of something that would be useful and helpful and supportive during this time of isolation. This is day 24 for me, and while I would love to have you all meditating, not everybody has learnt to meditate, and to make it the most accessible I could, I thought we would do these short but powerful meditative exercises. And that's what we've been doing, 9 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and today's the last one, but more on that at the end. A different exercise each day, and these exercises are most often drawn from traditional meditation practices, so rooted in quite traditional practices. Hi Angela. And rooted in traditional meditation practices. So you are absorbing some of the key elements of a meditation practice, and also informed by science. So there's lots of science around now, almost 7,000 cited papers that we can draw on. And so a meditative exercise gives us an opportunity to start somewhere, and there's great power in starting, and to get a sense of what a meditation practice or a formal practice might feel like and look like. But most importantly, to get a little bit of calmness and ease and relaxation, even in these short practices. So today our practice is the Sacred Pause, and this would have to be one of my favourite and one of the exercises I've probably practiced more than any other, because for me, having done this exercise for many, many years, it's almost a direct route for me to probably the stillest and the quietest moment that I would ever have available to me. The quickest route there. And so that's why I'm including this one as the last exercise. Now, it may not be that way when you start with any of these exercises. It's easy to sit here and be guided in them, but ideally you take them away and you practice them and you bring them to life in your life, and then they become your powerful tools, and then you have them available whenever you need them. So you do need to do the practice. So in this exercise today, I'm going to guide you through the practice, so you don't need to remember anything at all. But just so that you know, the sacred pause exists at the very end of our exhalation. So when you take a relaxed inhalation and then let go of the breath and allow all of your breath to leave your body, at the very end of that exhalation is a moment, or perhaps a few moments, where there is just emptiness. So there's no breath, and it occurs just before you feel that rising need to breathe in again. And that pause is the stillest and quietest moment you have, and it's always there at the end of your exhalation. And the more we do this practice, it invites calmness into the nervous system, and so your breath will slow down. You'll build a rhythm that gets slower and slower quite naturally. You're not forcing anything or making anything happen. And as that unfolds, that sacred pause will feel ever deeper and ever slower and ever longer. So it almost feels at times that you don't want to breathe in again to disrupt, but you have to. And then for the next exhalation, coming to that place again. So let's do this exercise together. We're going to do it for 5 minutes. So it's just a starter practice. But since we have the opportunity to be here together, please see if you can find a way to sit that feels really comfortable for you. I'm on my couch in my living room, and in the past few days I've been able to sit outside under my fig tree. It's a bit cool today. But sit in such a way that you feel held and supported. And it might take a few moments of wriggling and adjusting. But the things that we look for when we're moving into a longer period of sitting is that our feet are anchored to the floor. So rather than crossing your legs, if you're in a chair, just allow your feet to be flat on the floor. And having your hands somewhere that feels easy and restful, in your lap together or on your thighs. Sit up relatively straight. Allow your shoulders to soften and hang, and then you can allow your posture to soften just a little if that's more comfortable. We want the front of our body to be soft and to be open so that we can receive the breath, receive that fresh, life-giving air with every inhalation. So a soft belly. You might tuck your chin in just a little to soften the muscles on the back of your neck. I would invite you to close your eyes if you feel that's appropriate, or otherwise just soften your gaze to the floor in front of you. Allow your face to soften. Notice how you feel on this Friday afternoon with your eyes closed, hopefully in a quiet room where you won't be disturbed. And we'll start with a cleansing breath, and that's just 1 or 2 breaths where you take a slightly deeper, slower, longer inhalation through the nostrils and then release the breath through the mouth, a long, slow exhalation. And you might even hear yourself sigh on that exhalation. And after 1 or 2 of those cleansing breaths, just allow your breath to settle back into whatever rhythm feels comfortable and natural. But you might invite your awareness first down to your belly, and we'll just take a couple of breaths where we'll just be really interested in how the breath moves your belly. When you breathe in, your belly expands, and as you breathe out, the belly softens back towards the spine. Just watching your breath at the belly. And then let's invite our awareness up to the ribs and the chest. So not just the ribs at the front of your body, but also the ribs under the arms and at the back. And so when we breathe in, those ribs expand. And in between the ribs are all these little muscles that have a chance to stretch. and then soften and release any tension. So just feeling your breath at the ribs for a couple of breaths. And then let's invite our awareness now to our nostrils. So as you breathe in through the nostrils, a slightly cooler breath as you breathe in and a slightly warmer breath as you breathe out. See if you can gently watch your breath at the nostrils for a couple of breaths. And then you might settle your awareness, finding a restful place to just observe your breath wherever you notice it most deeply this afternoon. So maybe it is the belly or the nostrils or the chest. But this can be like your home base, somewhere you can come back to if you get distracted. Somewhere where you can feel your breath. And then I'm going to invite our awareness to the exhalation. So allowing the body just to breathe in as it always does, but being really curious and interested in that moment when you start to release your breath, following the exhalation right through to the very end of your breath and seeing if you can just rest there, empty, no breath, just for a moment. And don't try to force it. Just allow it to unfold in its own time. So each time breathing in fresh life-giving air and then watching with interest your exhalation and allowing all of the breath to leave the body. And there, at the end of the exhalation, that momentary sacred pause where you may even feel inclined to linger a moment before your body asks you to breathe in again. So this is our rhythm, this is our practice today. And I shall watch the time as we just continue to watch our exhalation and that sacred pause at the end of our breath for the next few minutes. There's nothing that you need to do, nothing you need to make happen. Just watching your breath, following the exhalation, resting a moment in that sacred pause. And that sacred pause is always available. It's not something you have to find or cultivate. It's always there. You just need to take a moment to step away from the busyness, find your breath, and follow that pathway with the exhalation. And right to the very end, you'll find that pause. Sometimes the pause is just a brief glimpse of a moment, and other times it can feel like forever. So to finish our exercise today, staying seated with your eyes closed, just notice how your breath feels after the exercise. Notice how your body feels after being seated here for a few moments in stillness. And maybe even a reflection on the quality of your mind after the exercise. And then we're going to shift our focus, our awareness to our inhalation. So at the end of the next pause, just notice your inhalation when the body asks you to breathe in the fresh oxygen. And we'll take a couple of deeper breaths in. And this happens actually quite naturally just by focusing on your inhalation. The body will take a slightly deeper breath in, and this brings energy back into the mind as well as the body. And then I would invite you to bring a gentle smile to your lips, something that I encourage in every practice, whether it's a meditative exercise or a longer formal seated meditation, to spend a moment with a gentle smile, a loving smile, both reflecting it inward as a thanks for taking this time, but also when you do come back to the world around you, to bring that sense of ease and that gentle smile to the world around you. That's a beautiful practice. So when you're ready, bringing some movement, fingers and toes, and coming back to the world wherever you are around you today. And I hope that that exercise gave you a new tool for your toolbox for those moments when you need to press the pause and make that shift inward, connecting with your breath and your body, and your intention to be a little calmer, a little quieter. You can certainly do that exercise whenever you need to, or make it a part of your regular day in some way. On my stories earlier, I went for a walk down the beach and I did that exercise in a little video at the beach. If you want to go and check out my local beach this afternoon, it was absolutely beautiful. So I do that exercise often during the day, and sometimes at night if I'm finding it difficult to sleep, that's a really good exercise as well. But if you wanted a longer meditative experience, then by all means you can use that very simple practice, that very simple breath awareness practice for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever feels comfortable. And you will find that the longer you do it, amazingly, the deeper and deeper your sense of stillness, sense of quiet. So I hope you enjoyed that exercise today. This is the last of my morning and afternoon meditative exercises, but I've really enjoyed meeting you and sharing these online. So as a starting point, I'm going to be doing a slightly longer 20-minute, more formal meditation practice, and I thought I'd do it on a Wednesday morning, like hump day, even though maybe every day is a hump day at the moment. But maybe Wednesday mornings at 9 o'clock, we'll start there. But if you have a suggestion, if there's anything that you would like me to share, or you'd like to be part of, or you'd like to see, please let me know if you have any questions at all. I do have some online classes coming up this month and various resources. You can have a look at quietmindmeditation.com.au. There are a couple of other meditative exercises on Insight Timer under my profile, just under Sarah Fletcher. Go along and have a listen to those as well. And please know that you have the ability to ground and balance and center yourself at any time by making the decision to do so and stepping away physically and mentally and emotionally from your day and just taking some time to be still and quiet. So all the very best, and stay in touch. Send me a message if you've got a question. Otherwise, I look forward to maybe seeing you next Wednesday at 9 a.m. for a 20-minute, 25-minute practice, mostly practice, not instruction. And have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, and the weekend ahead as well. All the very best.